there was a discussion before the Wolves game about striking options at Arsenal and will Arsenal be in the market for another striker and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they spoke of, obviously they brought in Leandro Trossard in the January window this year. He's deputized somewhat in Gabriel Jesus' absence and in Nketiah's injury as well, in the striker position. I have seen some fans say that they actually prefer him down the middle to on the wing. Like he brings us more there. Do you think he is better as a striker than a winger? And is he your answer to, if Jesus is out, let's put Trossard there?
Yeah, 100% with that last statement, especially. He is definitely, the guy I would go to and say, go and play up front. Because every time he's played on the left, it's not really clicked. And I think we miss what Martinelli brings so much more. It kind of shines a light on someone who can stretch to play. I don't think Trossard is a slouch in any stretch of the imagination, but he's not Martinelli. He's not quick like that. And he likes to come interior. And then again, that just makes us very right-sided. So I think he's a lot better there. And I think he brings us more. He links the play a lot better. He doesn't lose the ball. When he's on his day, he doesn't lose the ball. And I think this is even a conversation that we have to include Gabriel Jesus in. Because I saw a lot of people saying he needs to decide whether he's a left winger or he's a striker, because if we're going to have someone, if they're playing together and Trossard is on the left, then he needs to just stay in his role and just do his striking role. But Jesus likes to drift to the left. And it's good, it makes sense. Okay, yeah, they can exchange positions and stuff, but I just feel like, again, it was a season review type of topic, but I think Jesus had maybe 11 goals. I know he had the massive injury, but basically his goal contribution just wasn't what we were expecting from our number 9 signing. So I think Trossard definitely is like the number 2 if we can't go down the middle. I just think, it's still been only half a season and he's done so well. 10 assists for Arsenal, in that half is crazy, in half a season. So more understanding, maybe he can do a better job out down the left, but right now, I think he's an amazing option down the middle. His link-up play, he gives us control. Obviously we knew some sort of like the combativeness that Jesus gives us up top, but I do think that Trossard's best position right now is through the middle. I'd say that more so than him on the left, 100%.
I think we've both said before, we still crave that other type of striker, because as much as Trossard is akin to Gabriel Jesus down the middle, they do similar kind of thing, similar stature and all of that kind of stuff. We still need a battering ram. Yeah. We still need a plan B, a solid plan B, not a plan A 2.0, which is what we're basically saying Trossard is.
Yeah.
Like, is he the answer? Do you not sign a striker this summer because we've got Trossard, Nketiah? I assume Balogun's gonna go, but yeah, do you not sign a striker because Trossard can fill that gap? And obviously, as a backup for left wing, you've got maybe Smith Rowe to back up to Martinelli.
I mean, yeah, because I think Smith Rowe can do more of what Martinelli does. Maybe not at the same levels, but I remember loads of times last season he'd be driving in off that left. He can dribble well and things like that. And he's a good finisher. I still think we need the striker, but I think where I'm struggling is that how do you buy a striker who's a battering ram? The money you're spending, it's so hard to get these squad player type, because then it's like, are you purposely going out and getting someone who's not good enough to start? Then if their level falls off, then where the hell are they? Where do they position themselves in you're coming in to be our main striker's backup? I don't know how these negotiations go or how you sell these things to them, but I still think we need a different type. But it's like, it's either you go big or you go home in a sense. And it's like, right, you're coming in, you're going to be battling for up top with Jesus, but then at the same time, you want someone, then he's got to have what Jesus has and more. And then you think, well, if he's got what Jesus has and he's a battering ram, then he's got to start. Yeah, so, he's better than him. So it's just tricky. I always think these sort of signings kind of leave you a bit, when you try and sign some 23-year-old from, I don't know, the Dutch league or League One, and you're like, yeah, he scored 13 goals and stuff, and kind of like what we did before with Giroud. And obviously Giroud went on to have a stellar career, but maybe someone like him would be great. But I don't want 2012 Giroud. I don't want somebody like that coming to the squad now.
I mean, you know what? You named Giroud, and I'm not trying to live in nostalgia and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure Giroud is leaving AC Milan on a free this summer. And
probably.
I'm not saying he should come back to Arsenal. He is literally the kind of player that we're talking about, though, type.
Yeah.
But for me, when Giroud is at Arsenal, even at his best, I always said Giroud is a fantastic B player.
Yeah.
Like, that is the guy that we need now, ultimately. And yeah, he's been to Chelsea, he's been to AC Milan and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if Giroud...
he's 36.
I know. It's too much. But like, if we're looking for someone that we're looking to kind of play loads, they understand that. They know they're going to be a second option. There's still Champions League football here. He knows the club. He knows the city. Like, really and truly, like, I'm going to just, tongue-in-cheek, throw Giroud's name into this hat alongside Mitrovic, because I will always name Mitrovic.
Yeah.
Because, again, he knows the city. He knows the league. He's probably 30 plus, or at least 30 by now.
30, yeah.
Yeah, so... Yeah. I think, and Champions League football from whatever Fulham are doing right now, although Fulham had a season, why wouldn't you take it? And I will throw in Ivan Toney, who obviously is banned right now and probably won't feature in another football game until January or February 2024. But that might be about the time this person is needed. Yeah. Like, come in and just freshen things up. I don't know if he'll probably be allowed to train with us. I
mean, potentially. I think that's because the ban was all types of work, like all types of football or whatever. I'm
sure that's competitive and not so much. Can't go to training.
Can't go and kick a ball anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think those are good options. I've also heard about Calvert-Lewin, which I'm not too keen on personally, but he is the type of player where you could definitely be like, yeah, he's somewhat like, he's got a great header on him. Yeah. He's strong, he's quick-ish, but his injury record. But I would love Mitrovic. I would love it, but Fulham would absolutely. He's gonna cost upwards. He's in his prime. I don't think they sell him for anything less than like 60, 65.
Good.
No, he's their star guy. I think he's their top goal scorer of all time as well. Honestly, at least in the Prem. But I'm sure when he got didn't he get like 40 goals in the Championship last season? Come here, he smashed it. I mean, if he didn't get that 8-game ban for chiefing up the ref, I'm sure he would have been clear of maybe closer to 20 this season. So he's there. I mean, and that Vinicius brother, he's trying, but he's no Mitrovic. I mean, to replace him, oh my gosh, yeah. I think Fulham would make sure. I mean, I think it would happen if we said we wanted Mitrovic. Mitrovic would want to come, I think, and he would just be, unbelievable.
It's a matter of where he is in his contract, I think, to see if we could get away with something like that. To be honest, I didn't even think about all of that you just said. I thought he's maybe more in the ballpark of like a 25 mil, like just snatch him. Like, they still won't want it to happen, but it depends where he is in his contract. Determine it, really. Ivan Toney, I think we know he'll be expensive, ban or not. He's a very good player. England international, so adds to your cost. Calvert-Lewin, would probably be like the lower back of these men. Ollie Watkins.
That's another. I do like Ollie Watkins. I do. I think he's, again, maybe not so much battering ram. He's a little bit leaner than the rest, but he's still he's a tallish guy, strong boy. He can run, decent link up, good finisher. I think he'd be good. But again, I think where Villa are, again, they would try to fleece us for someone like Ollie Watkins. Yeah.
They just got into Europa or Conference League. So it won't be easy to pull him out of there, although he's an Arsenal fan. I mean, I think the positive, just to bring it back to Trossard, the positive is that we have that as an option. He is someone that can play anywhere along the front three, clearly play to a very good level. We're talking about, is he best as a striker? Not to me, he can't do the other jobs. For me, I keep him as another option down the middle. It throws into jeopardy Nketiah's career. It throws into jeopardy. We even keep Balogun. For me, we still need that battering ram of a striker. We still need him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's just at the beginning of the season, I was kind of like, you know what? I don't think we need to have somebody like that. But just seeing what Haaland does, you know what I mean? He's something else anyway. But I think you just need a different option. I think it's a bit deflating when you're thinking, okay, Jesus isn't happening today, then you bring on Nketiah, and it's maybe even less so of what Jesus is doing. Not that Nketiah doesn't bring things, but you kind of want someone where it's like the defenders come in and it's like, oh gosh, we've got a handful now. Then you can get in and around that guy, get some scraps off him, and make something happen, put some balls in the area and stuff like that. So who knows, maybe Giroud comes back and he plays a bit part, but I've just not seen him have the legs. I know Italy's a different thing, in terms of the pace of the game and how you're able to manage it and stuff, but I just think if maybe he was like 33, 32, maybe a 1-2 year season, like maybe like a Jorginho type of contract, but yeah, I think we just need to, if we're going to go big with the striker, we need to just like say, okay, we need to bring in someone who's going to be competing, because Jesus can fill in and do the left and do the right. He could even be, not say back up to Saka, but he could rotate in and out with Saka and you know what I mean? And all of a sudden we've got good cover. But again, it's a Jesus conversation. How do you see yourself? Yes, I'm willing to do things for the team, but if I say you're going to play 45% of the games on the right wing, are you okay with that? And he came in to have his shine. That's the reason why he was happy to leave City. Aguero left and all these players left, and he never really got the chance to be the main guy. So I don't know how we feel about it, but yeah. Trossard he's definitely better down the middle so far, but we'll see. Give him a full pre-season with the team, he could be even better than we saw in just this like 6 months or so.